quite a while since I played it. It's, as you can see, I was offline for 223 hours, which that's a little less than 10 days. So in that time, I earned quite a bit of cash there, $114 trillion. So probably what I'm going to do, I mean, I could upgrade my stuff here. Actually, I probably will do that just for a minute and just get an extra big stream. Yeah, extra big stream of surge in my income rate. So let's go. There we go, take it up to 25, speed everything up. And it looks like I can still go a lot farther, so let's do... Oh yeah. Aha. Oh yes, everything times 3. Oh, there we go. Speed everything up here. I can take some stuff up to 100. There we go. Now let's see here. What else? What else? Made car washes. There we go. Should start seeing the money climb up much faster than it did before. I mean, what did I get? Like, what was it? Some trillions. And we'll let the bank fire over a couple times. So, while that's going, oh, and before we get too far, let me apologize in advance. I've got a little bit of allergies going on today, so I might sound a little, might be a little hard to understand. Hopefully not, but, and then I'll try my best not to sneeze into the mic. If I do, advance apologies for that. So let's see. So the other day, I got onto my computer, which a few weeks back I upgraded my Windows Vista machine to Windows 10, and that was an adventure in itself. I had to find a copy of Windows 7, install that on there, and you know, get that upgraded, because the Windows 10 upgrade was only free if you had Windows 7 or higher. It's not Vista. And the deadline was fast approaching, so I got some, got myself a copy of Windows 7, upgraded to that, and then I was able to upgrade to Windows 10. It's talking to me. Just a friendly reminder, you can double your angel investors. Oops, there we go. But I don't want to reset right now with just 30. I'm going to wait and let it run, because as some things carry over, it's going to just kind of shoot me up really quick. So I'm just going to let that run. Alright, thanks for distracting me, dude. So, I was saying before I was interrupted. Yeah, I had a lot of issues with it. Had to, because you have to install all the updates first, and there's a glitch with some update that came out several months back, I guess, but that I maybe hadn't installed it, or maybe I had, I don't know. But basically, the glitch with the update from a while ago is that it makes it so that when your computer tries to connect to Windows Update, the process that does that just hangs there for a while, and well, not for a while, forever, basically. It just gets to a point where it just kind of gets stuck in a loop or something, and so it never completes the check for updates, never gets any information about what new updates there are, it doesn't download it or install any of them. And fortunately, I had already had this problem on another machine, so I knew about it. I knew what to search for to find the solution, and that was, there's this update for Microsoft that fixes it, but since Windows Update isn't working, you have to go manually download it and install it manually. So that's what I did. I downloaded the update file, I installed it manually, and then rebooted, and then Windows Update was working again, was able to install the other updates, got through all that, and then finally did the upgrade to Windows 10. All well and good, played with it, had some bugs, worked it out. Some of them were just a problem that, okay, here's a solution. Some of them were just, it just needs to reboot. Maybe some of them were fixed by an update that it downloaded that I didn't even realize. Anyway, they were minor glitches, and they all went away after messing with it or waiting. One of the two or both, whatever. So it's working good, It's nice that, my system, which is like 8 or 9 years old, hardware is still able to run Windows 10 just fine. I've not had any performance issues or anything like that. Everything, it works just like I expect for that machine. It's not slower than the other system. Like if you had 15 years ago, if you had a Windows 95 machine that was a little older and you upgraded to Windows 98, you'd see a performance decrease because Windows 98 needed more than Windows 95 did. If you took that thing and then upgraded it to XP, you needed a lot better machine to do that. So you couldn't take necessarily some Windows 98 machines and upgrade them to XP. Some XP machines, the first machines that were, that came with XP, you tried to upgrade them to Windows Vista or Windows 7, they wouldn't be able to do too well at it because the increased system requirements needed to run the new operating system's features. Well, that isn't the case with going from Vista 7 up to 10. They did a good job now of making it so that you don't need better hardware just to run the operating system, really. So that's good because I'm happy with that. But there was a bad thing that I discovered, and it wasn't until just a couple days ago that I realized this thing. Because you may have seen a few of the other videos on my channel where I played some Diablo 3. I might have done some other games on the computer, I'm not sure, but definitely did quite a few Diablo 3 videos a while back. Those were from my computer, so I downloaded a program to be able to stream software running on my computer onto YouTube, and worked with it for a while, got it figured out, got it working. Well, I went to go and do that with a new game that you may have heard of called Slither.io. I've been playing it a lot over the last week and really having fun with it, so I was like, hey, I'll make a video playing Slither on my computer. Well, so I went and, started the game up, started my streaming software up, did a live broadcast for about an hour and a half where I played the game, gave some commentary, talked about stuff. But when it was all done, I noticed a couple times during it, I just happened to, take a quick pause to check the stream thing, and I noticed it showed red for under the little stream health indicator, which means, it said your broadcaster isn't sending enough data to keep the stream at a good quality. And I'm like, oh, well, let me adjust the settings here, and I, changed the settings, and then went back to it, played some more, went back, and I was like, oh, it's right again. Let me just turn these all the way up to the maximum, see if that does it. And so I turned them in. This time I just waited, and I watched it, and I saw after a few seconds in it changed from red to green. It said, oh, you're good to go now. Your streaming is good quality. I'm like, okay, cool. So I went back to played for probably half hour. And I was like, all right, I've been playing this for a while now. I'm good. So I quit, and then I'm like, let's go back and take a look at, how it turned out. So I played the video back, and I realized that as soon as I started playing the game, I got like, quarter of a second, and then it just froze, and it was displaying a static, unmoving image. Now my commentary was still going through it, but I'm playing the game, and anybody watching the video is just seeing one frame on there, nonstop. I'm like, well, that's no good. So I kind of fast forwarded, skipped around through it, and I found that even after adjusting, the settings, even the point where it said, oh, your stream is good quality now, even after that part, it wasn't displaying properly. And so then I did some research on the subject. I figured out, oh, here's what the thing is that when I was running on Vista, my streaming software has a setting that says, disable the arrow transparency features. And in addition to doing that, it also disables the desktop window composition, which is a feature that was introduced in Vista. And basically what that feature is instead of applications drawing directly to video memory or to your display, they draw to a private area in memory that the operating system controls. And then the operating system handles the tasks of layering them, putting whichever one's on top, and then sending the final result to your video card to be displayed. The advantage of doing it that way is that before they did that, if you had a window that was behind another window, and then you wanted to switch to the window that was in the back, and you switched to it, you had to wait for it to draw, because it was like, well, I'm covered up, so I'm not drawing this part. And then when you switch to it, and then it would say, okay, now I draw this part. With the desktop composition feature, every window that's open is drawing its entire self, even if it is covered up by something. And so then when you switch to it, it's instantly ready to see, and it makes everything smoother as long as your hardware can handle it, which is one of the reasons why upgrading from XP to Vista or Windows 7 could sometimes result in a performance degradation if you had older hardware, because that hardware wasn't built to handle that desktop composition stuff. So anyway, it's a feature they introduced, but the problem with it when it comes to the streaming software is that the way that it connected to an individual application in order to broadcast it onto YouTube was not compatible with the desktop composition feature, and so it wouldn't work with that going on, and at an acceptable quality level with the particular video card that I had. It wasn't quite enough. And so I would have to disable that in order to get the necessary performance to be able to deliver quality video streams. Well, actually starting with Windows 8, which I didn't ever have, but also in 10, you can no longer disable Windows desktop composition. It's now an undisableable component of the system, whereas in Vista and Windows 7, it was something you could turn on and off. It no longer is after that point, because the new way was good and the old way, was obsolete. They didn't need to keep supporting it. So that meant that since I couldn't disable it, I couldn't get good stream quality. Well, or any really, basically. So I did some more investigation after learning that I could no longer disable. I was like, okay, so is there something else I can do to make this software work with at least to broadcast my Chrome window? Because I saw that at the point at which I switched from the game, which I guess I should mention it's in the browser, so cover that. At the point at which I switched from the tab in which the game was running to the tab in which I was connected to my YouTube dashboard to check the quality of the stream, for those few moments in the video, I actually had reasonable frame rate. It was, as good as I would have expected, just not when I was in the game. And I was like, that's interesting. Why do I get good frame rate there in the part where I'm in that other browser tab? So I did some more investigation, and I learned that what I found basically was a solution. If you cannot get this piece of software to capture a tab of your browser, here's a solution. It said turn off the feature in Chrome, the setting for use hardware acceleration. I was like, oh, okay, so if I turn off hardware acceleration, then Chrome is going to do all of its own tab rendering using just software, and then my streaming program will be able to capture it properly. So I said, okay, I'll do that. So I turned off the setting so that Chrome would not use hardware acceleration features. And then I made a little, started up my broadcasting software and went back to Solidity.io and, started a test capture and started playing. And it captured it okay. The problem was that because I wasn't using hardware acceleration, and because Solidity.io is a reasonably graphically intensive game, without hardware acceleration, it's basically just doing all the game rendering with my CPU, and my frame rate in the game itself was horrible. So it was, instead of being unwatchable for you, it was just unplayable for me. So that's no better. That still doesn't work. Basically, the end result is until I can get myself before I go to that conclusion, I forgot another part of the spiel. So we'll come back to that unfinished thought in a moment. So then I was like, okay, so I can't go without the hardware acceleration here, obviously. What else can I do? And then I found some information that suggested that it may simply be a matter of needing to update my video card drivers, because the thing is that Windows 10 does some things differently. Well, actually, I guess it's not Windows 10. It just has to do with the Windows Desktop Composition feature, the way that it handles, things is such that basically every app has its own video memory space, and the only thing that, in order for my broadcasting software to be able to capture windows that are drawing to the video card, is with Windows Desktop Composition running, is that I need to have my video card's drivers updated to the a later version that is built for that feature in more efficient, better ways or whatever. Also something to do with the supported DirectX version, which I think the drivers that I had only supported DirectX up to 9. It said if you're using DirectX 10, then you'll be able to capture it even in Windows 10 or whatever. But you have to have a sufficiently up-to-date driver for your video card that will support DirectX 10. So I'm like, okay, let me go to the manufacturer's website for my video card, get some newer drivers. So I put in my driver, or my video card's model number on their website, and then the list of operating systems. The last one listed is Windows 7. There's no Windows 10 listed. And it actually wouldn't even... Basically, the long story short, the one that they had for Windows 7 was actually the same version that I already had for Vista. They're the same driver. Not new enough. Only supports up to DirectX 9. The reason why they didn't have any for Windows 8 or Windows 10 is because the card is old enough that the manufacturer has stopped supporting that card, and so they declined to write any newer drivers. So there isn't a newer driver I can download. So the end result is that I can no longer do any YouTube broadcast streams from my computer until such time as I can get myself a new video card that's, at least a couple of years newer than the one I had, which admittedly is fairly old, but it's a high performance one. It does good. I can play at my widescreen monitor's native resolution with high settings for some games, medium for others, or I can play at a slightly lower resolution at the higher settings on other games. That I've been able to play just about any game that I've downloaded on that computer or installed, whatever. But the only thing that it can't do is to stream to YouTube in Windows 10 or higher than Windows 7. So yeah, basically I have to spend at least $100, if not more, on a newer video card. Honestly, if I'm gonna upgrade my video card anyway, I would not just get the $100 one, which is a little better than the old one. I would get probably a $200 card, 180 maybe, because why would you buy a whole card that's the minimum amount of upgrade you could do when you could spend just a little bit more and get a significantly better card? Problem is, right now, I don't have $180 or $100 either. I don't have either one to spend on a video card at this point in time. So, kind of sucks. I need to make more money, but until I do, basically all I'm going to be able to do as far as YouTube broadcasts is for my PlayStation. So I'm really glad that the PlayStation has this share broadcasting feature built into it. You don't have to do any setup. You just hit the little share button on your controller and then say start broadcasting, and there you go. Simple. I love that. So good news is you guys still get video game broadcasts. Bad news is it's limited to those video games that I have on my PlayStation and not any of the ones I have on my computer. But so one of them is Adventure Capitalist here, which we are playing. And we're building stuff up here. It's not going to be long before we get just a little higher on those things. And where am I at there? Yeah, I'm not going to reset just yet. I think what I want to do is give it 15 minutes to get this oil thing to roll over and give me the $27 trillion. And that when that happens, then I will get a big boost to the angel investors here, and then I will restart after that happens, because otherwise there's not really anything in there that I'm wanting to do. So that's going on here, but I don't know that I've got another 15 minutes worth of stuff to talk about. So probably what's going to happen in reality is that we're just going to go here, and I'll quit this broadcast in a minute here, and then I'll come back to it in another week or two, and I will have made, $300 trillion, because the thing will have gone off multiple times, and then I'll reset it, whatever. Anyways, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop this game, and I'm going to actually start playing another game. I'm going to do some No Man's Sky here. So that's where we're going to go now. But in case you are watching this on replay later, you may not go straight from this one to that one. So we'll go ahead and do a little formal thing here where I say thanks everybody for watching this Adventure Capitalist video. Listen to me talk about my PC situation. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you are interested in more Adventure Capitalist videos by clicking the like button. If you want to see some of my other videos, you can click to those. I think you'll see them probably below or to the side, or however it is. I'm not looking at YouTube right now, so I don't actually know how to set up. I should probably write what I'm going to say here so that it's more coherent and less rambly. But be sure to check out my other videos. Lots of fun other games that I've got in there. And subscribe so that you can know whenever I post a new video. And then thanks for watching, and we will, if you are interested in continuing this journey, I'll see you in a moment on the No Man's Sky side. All right, thanks for watching.